it's time to review the headlines in today's newspapers. And of course, we'll be doing this together with OG and Sheito.
Perfect.
And of course, we start, as always, with This Day on Sunday, where the lead story says, Irabor, Nigeria's peace guaranteed with Musa as new defense chief. Oborewori hails ICA's unity as Sokoa, Obaigbena, Onyagu, others pour encomiums on former CDs. And there are two important cover pictures. The first one paying last respect, former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, Vice President Kashim Shettima during the funeral service of Otumba Michael Olashubomi Balogun at the Cathedral Church of Our Savior in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, yesterday, which Arise also picked live.
Yes, we
and the second picture is the immediate past Delta State Governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, State Deputy Governor Samonde Onyeme, Governor Sherib Oborewori, former Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabor retired, his wife Victoria, Chief of Defense Staff Major General Christopher Musa, and his wife Lillian at the reception organized by the Ika Nation for the former CDS in Agbo, Delta State yesterday, which is in sync with the lead story of today's This Day. And I like the fact that General Irabor says that he's leaving the Nigerian army better and stronger. I think that's the word of a general who knows his onions. I believe that he's well celebrated and Nigeria will not forget him in a hurry. Other stories, Anambra panel indicts Mesoma for forgery, recommends apology to JAMB. We took that already. Interesting that the only thing that the Anambra committee is recommending is an apology. And the other one, Shaitan, what was that again? To
get psychological training and of course psychological
counseling
as well, and then she has to talk to someone.
She will need it. On top of the masthead, on the strip, Nigeria's petrol consumption down 28% after subsidy removal, says downstream regulator. That's a story on page 10. What does this mean? Good or bad, or it's just? I mean, that's just a matter of fact, isn't it? If it's down by 28%, many people are not taking their cars out, every day. Many people are watching how they consume, fuel. I don't think that was the intention of the subsidy removal.
Well, it is part of what would happen, what we will see to come. Absolutely.
Part of what will happen.
Yes.
But then I'm not so sure if we are meant to celebrate that or just acknowledge the fact that...
We have to acknowledge it is the time.
I wonder if it's, also, of course, part of this 28% is the fact that there are people who can't afford to buy fuel anymore and are finding other ways. But I also wonder if it's now showing the actual amount of fuel that we consume as a nation, because fuel subsidy has now been taken over. I know that there have been reports in the past that the number of the amount of fuel that we consume, especially when we compare it to a country like India that has even more motorists, it wasn't adding up. So I think it was
Pakistan that they compared us with.
Pakistan. So that I think it might be the two factors contributing to this 28%. But again,
what about the good chunk that was meant to be going to neighboring countries? If they were not going, are they not supposed to be here?
Exactly.
How come consumption, has gone down by 20%?
I would attribute it mostly to the fact that people cannot afford it. I mean, it is just very it's
because a lot of people are trekking.
Because people are trekking. There are a lot of bicycles on the road now. There are a lot of people just taking public transportation. So obviously, it will affect the consumption.
All right. On the window of today's This Day, shareholders hold emergency meeting on Obautudeko's comeback bid today. That's that's boardroom politics. At the highest. We mentioned it yesterday too that Obautudeko is seeking to be the biggest shareholder.
Big shareholder right now.
Right now. So, all right. Last but not the least, Tinubu, Gowon, Abiodun, Dangote, others bid Shubomi Balogun farewell. That's on page 8. That's a very great Nigerian who was an important figure in the financial sector of the country, who went home in the blaze of glory. Otumba Shubomi.
Absolutely.
Balogun.
A life well lived. May his soul rest in perfect
His soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes. All right,
so let's
should we head over to this day's style? This is celebration, actually. The cover picture there is of Iyalode.
Iyalode.
Yes, I was told you cannot call her by her first name, even though it shows here. Iyalode Bintu Fatima Tinubu's glorious 80th birthday celebration. If you open the inside of this day's star, we would see, of course, her son, Wale Tinubu, who is the
GMD of Owando.
Yeah. And we also had a beautiful speech given by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. A bunch of people were there. We also had the chairman of This Day and Arise Media Group, Prince Nduka Obaigbena, Governor Ibukunle Amosun, and a host of others were there to celebrate. We also have a billionaire businessman here, Femi Otedola, as well as Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. They were all there to celebrate Iyalode, who was born on July 2nd, 1943, into the noble Osunbo family of Benin. Chief Tinubu's early years were shaped by a nurturing environment that instilled in her a sense of purpose and a drive for excellence. Her education at the Anglican Girls' School provided a strong foundation for her future endeavors, which would see her emerge as a trailblazer in multiple domains. I was saying, I hope I look like her when I turn 80 years old. She is beautiful. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations indeed.
You know, I have no doubt that you most likely would look like that, or even better.
Keep eating healthy.
And keep working out.
Keep working out, yes.
But then let's move on.
We have just 1 minute to go, so we'll
Shaitan.
quickly look at the punch, and then we'll do the wheel last.
All right, then. So the Sunday Punch, very quickly. Tinubu Akpabio meet on Senate committees, chairmen and others. Of course, there's going to be a lot of meetings happening since this selection. Tinubu VIPs pay tribute as FCMB founder Balogun is buried. And of course, Tokumbo vehicle sales dropped by 70%. Buyers opt for Nigerian used cars.
Another thing that is as a result of signs of the times, isn't it?
Signs of the times.
We'll see.
Tinubunomics is definitely changing things up around
Maybe
here.
after 100 days, we'll see where we are.
Where we are.
There's a story at the bottom. The DSS detains and grills ex-Zamfara governor Yari. This is a story that we're going to, of course, be paying attention to. It's on page 38, and we're going to see how all that unfolds this week.
Does it have to do with the fact that he lost the Senate presidency, or that he refused to pick the president's phone call, as they said? The wheel will be our last paper for today. For today, state of the economy, real sector in trouble. That's the wheel, a weekly newspaper every Sunday. Real sector in trouble. And I think that the illustration, the picture, on the cover shows how tough things, tend to be.
Quite
absolutely.
Diving into the sharks, like
the sharks.
Mouth of the sharks, absolutely.
Let's hope that would change after about 100 days of the Tinubu presidency.
Absolutely.
We're hopeful. Our hopes are renewed. And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching. Do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
And I'm Shaitan Atigari.
Well, and I'm Oji Okpe from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.